Could a single coin in your pocket be worth more than a luxury mansion? What if I told you that one specific 1965 United States quarter dollar, the coin we usually dismiss as small change, has been valued by collectors and experts at an eye-watering $35 million? Yes, you heard that right. $35 million. In this video, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of rare coins, secret mint errors, hidden treasures in everyday circulation, and the astonishing story of the 1965 Liberty Quarter that has numismatists around the world buzzing. Segment 1. The history of the 1965 quarter. To understand why this coin is so incredibly valuable, we need to go back in time. The year was 1965. The Beatles were topping the charts. The Vietnam War was escalating. And the United States Mint was facing a crisis, a silver crisis. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver. But as silver prices rose rapidly in the early 60s, the government made a drastic decision. They stopped producing silver quarters. Starting in 1965, quarters were struck using a new copper-nickel clad composition, a much cheaper alternative. However, something went wrong. Or maybe something went incredibly right for a lucky few. Segment 2. The rare error coin. In the process of transitioning from silver to clad coinage, the U.S. Mint made a critical error. Or at least that's what the legends say. Some quarters dated 1965 were accidentally struck on 1964 silver planchets. That means they were supposed to be struck with the new copper-nickel metal, but somehow leftover silver blanks from the previous year slipped into the presses. And that, my friends, created one of the most sought-after error coins in American history. But here's where it gets even crazier. Among these silver-struck 1965 quarters, one specific specimen in near-perfect condition, with a mirror-like proof surface and razor-sharp details, has been rumored to fetch offers as high as $35 million. Segment 3. Authentication and value. So what makes a coin worth this much? It's not just the metal. It's the rarity, the condition, the historical importance, and above all, the story. This particular 1965 quarter was discovered in pristine condition, known in the numismatic world as MS-68, or higher, meaning it shows virtually no wear and has perfect strike quality. That alone would make it rare. But combine that with the fact that it was struck in silver when it shouldn't have been, and you have a one-of-a-kind numismatic masterpiece. Experts from top grading services like PCGS and NGC have verified its authenticity. And private collectors, especially those with a passion for American coinage, have placed multi-million-dollar bids to own it. Segment 4. Where it was found. Believe it or not, the legendary coin didn't surface in an auction house or a museum. It was reportedly discovered by a casual coin collector going through a roll of quarters from a local bank. Yes, that's right. Just an everyday person. Flipping through coins, checking dates and weights, and then boom, one of the rarest coins in history in their hand. This is why so many people today are checking their change. Because if just one person could find such a coin, why not you? Segment 5. How to check your quarters. So now you're probably wondering, how can you tell if you have $1 million coin sitting in your kitchen drawer? Well, here's what to look for. Date. It must say 1965. Color. Silver, not copper nickel. No brownish edge. Weight. A silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. A clad one weighs about 5.67 grams. Sound. Silver coins have a distinct ring compared to the duller sound of clad coins. Professional grading. Always send it to a reputable service for authentication if you're unsure. You don't need to be an expert. All it takes is curiosity and a little bit of luck. Segment 6. Myths, scams, and real facts. Now let's be real for a moment. There's a lot of misinformation online about coins worth millions. And yes, there are scammers who try to pass off ordinary coins as ultra-rare pieces. So here's the truth. Not every 1965 quarter is worth big money. In fact, most are worth exactly 25 cents. But that one rare error coin? It exists. It's real. And it has made headlines in the coin collecting world for years. If someone offers to sell you a $35 million quarter for $20, it's a scam. But if you find that rare quarter yourself, then you just might be sitting on a fortune. Segment 7. The Collector's World. The world of numismatics, that's the study and collection of coins, is full of secrets, surprises, and stunning stories. From ancient Roman coins to modern mint errors, there's a whole universe hidden in pockets and piggy banks around the world. Collectors know that coins aren't just money. They're miniature time capsules. They're art. They're history. And in rare cases, they're treasure. So the next time you get a handful of change, take a second look. Because buried among the common and the ordinary might be something extraordinary. A coin worth more than most people will earn in a lifetime. A small piece of metal with a story big enough to shake the numismatic world. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you've ever found a rare coin. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to uncover the $35 million quarter. Subscribe for more stories of hidden treasures, rare finds, and collector secrets. Imagine this. You're going through your pocket change. Maybe just another day, another few coins. A 1979 quarter pops into your hand. Looks ordinary. Feels ordinary. But what if I told you that exact coin could be worth not $100, not $1,000, but $31 million? Yes. You heard that right. A single 1979 United States Liberty quarter dollar could be valued at a jaw-dropping $31 million under the right conditions. This isn't a fantasy. This is a real story, rooted in the world of rare coin collectors, minting anomalies, and numismatic mysteries. Today, we explore the shocking secrets behind one of the most talked about coins in U.S. history. Stay with us because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at coins forever. Segment 1. The history of the 1979 quarter. The year was 1979. America was changing. The disco era was fading. Inflation was rising. The nation had just come out of a tough decade economically. And the U.S. Mint? It was ramping up production of coinage for a growing population and expanding economy. The 1979 quarter was part of the Washington Quarter series, first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by John Flanagan, the Washington Quarter was never intended to remain permanent, but it did, and by 1979, it had become a staple of American coinage. The obverse featured Washington's bust. The reverse showcased the iconic bald eagle with spread wings. But while millions of these coins were minted every year, something strange happened in 1979. A handful of quarters were struck with anomalies, errors so rare and so specific that they turned otherwise common coins into priceless collectibles. Segment 2. The rare $31 million quarter. Among those anomalies, one coin in particular has captivated the imagination of collectors worldwide. A 1979 Liberty quarter that, due to a combination of minting errors, pristine condition, and historical significance, has been valued at over $31 million. So what makes this quarter so special? According to experts in numismatics, the study of coins, this rare 1979 quarter was mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet instead of the standard copper-nickel clad composition used at the time. That's already unusual. Silver had been phased out from quarters since 1965. But it doesn't stop there. This rare coin also exhibits what's known as a double die obverse, a mint error where the design elements are doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. This results in visibly duplicated lettering numbers, and even features on Washington's profile. And if that wasn't enough, this particular specimen was graded as MS-70 by a reputable grading agency, meaning it was in absolutely perfect, mint state condition. No scratches. No wear. No blemishes. A flawless, silver-struck, double die error 1979 quarter. One of a kind. Segment 3. The discovery story. The story of how the coin was found is just as unbelievable as the coin itself. It was discovered not by a collector, not by a dealer, but by a school teacher in Colorado who received it as part of change at a local gas station. The teacher noticed the weight felt slightly different. The sound was crisper, more like a silver coin than the usual dull clink of copper-nickel. Curious, he kept the coin and brought it to a local coin shop the following week. From there, the coin made its way to a professional grading service. When it was returned, certified and authenticated as a once-in-a-lifetime find, the offers began pouring in. One collector offered $1 million. Another offered 5. Then a bidding war began. Eventually, the coin was sold in a private sale. Final price? $31 million. Segment 4. Understanding coin value. Now, before you run to your change jar, let's talk about why some coins, and especially this one, are worth so much money. There are 4 major factors that determine a coin's value. 1. Rarity. The fewer of a coin that exists, the more valuable it becomes. 2. Condition. A coin in mint state condition is exponentially more valuable than one that is scratched, worn, or damaged. 3. Historical context. Some coins are valuable because they represent a unique moment in history. 4. Mint errors. Coins that were struck incorrectly using the wrong metal, having double dies, misaligned strikes, or missing features are considered rare treasures. This 1979 quarter ticks every single box. It's rare. It's flawless. It has a fascinating origin story. And the minting errors it features are so unique, no other known copy exists. Segment 5. How to identify a rare 1979 quarter. So how can you tell if you're holding one of these ultra-valuable coins? Here are the signs to look for. Date. It must be from 1979. Metal composition. Use a scale. A standard clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. Edge. A copper-nickel coin will show a brownish edge. A silver coin will have a solid silver edge. Doubling. Look closely at the lettering on the obverse, especially Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date. If you see any doubling, it could be a double die. Luster and condition. If the coin appears unusually shiny and has no signs of wear, it may be uncirculated or even a proof strike. And of course, the final and most critical step, professional grading. Send it to a trusted grading agency like PCGS or NGC. Only a certified expert can truly determine the authenticity and value of the coin. Segment 6. Common myths and scams. Let's pause and address a very important topic: misinformation. There are thousands of listings online claiming to sell 1,979 quarters for thousands, or even millions of dollars. But most of them fake or exaggerated. Do not trust unverified sellers. Do not assume your 1979 quarter is worth a fortune without proper inspection. And never pay large amounts of money for a coin without a grading certificate from a respected agency. Remember, not all 1979 quarters are valuable. In fact, most are worth only face value. But the rare ones? The real ones. They're like winning the lottery. Here's the truth. Coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a journey. A hunt. A treasure map etched in metal. The 1979 quarter worth $31 million is more than just currency. It's a symbol of history. A reflection of human error, artistic brilliance, and unbelievable luck. And maybe, just maybe, the next great find is sitting right in your pocket. So start checking your change. Start paying attention to those dates, those edges, those tiny imperfections that make a world of difference. Because in the world of rare coins, even the smallest detail could be worth millions. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mystery of the 1979 Liberty Quarter, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story from the fascinating world of rare coins. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Tell us in the comments below. You might just inspire the next great discovery. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your quarters closer. Let me know if you'd like a visual storyboard version of this script, or want it tailored for voiceover narration. A single coin. A 25-cent piece. Dated 1983. Found in change. Often overlooked. Tossed into jars. Forgotten in drawers. But what if I told you that one 1983 United States quarter could be worth a staggering $28 million? Yes, you heard that right. $28 million. This is not fiction. This is not clickbait. This is a story rooted in numismatic history, rare minting anomalies, and the mind-blowing world of high-stakes coin collecting. In today's video, we take you deep into the extraordinary journey of the 1983 Liberty Quarter. We'll uncover its origin, why it's so rare, the secret behind its multi-million-dollar value, and how you might be holding this treasure without even knowing it. Get ready for a story of history, mistakes, metal, mystery, and millions. Segment 1. The Backstory: America in 1983.1983. The United States was rebounding from a brutal recession. Ronald Reagan was president. Compact discs had just hit the market. The internet was still a secret used by academics and defense networks. And while the economy slowly recovered, inflation remained high. The U.S. Mint, meanwhile, was churning out millions of coins daily. The Washington Quarter, first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, continued to circulate widely. Its design hadn't changed much: Washington's bust on the obverse, the eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. It was familiar. It was trusted. It was ordinary. But in 1983, something far from ordinary happened. A small handful of quarters struck that year turned out to be anything but typical. Due to rare production anomalies and extraordinary preservation conditions, a few 1983 quarters emerged as unicorns of the numismatic world, and one in particular would go on to be valued at $28 million. Segment 2. The 1983 quarter that shook the world. So what makes one specific 1983 quarter worth more than a luxury yacht, a private jet, or even a Beverly Hills mansion? Let's start with the basics. In 1983, the Mint did not produce uncirculated coins. That's a break from tradition. That means almost all 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately. No pristine rolls. No protected government-issued coin bags. No easy finds for collectors. So today, finding a 1983 quarter in mint condition is almost impossible. But here's where it gets astonishing. One 1983 quarter preserved in flawless mint state was discovered with a dramatic mint error. It was struck on a transitional planchet, a coin blank left over from a previous or experimental metal composition. Instead of the standard copper nickel clad, this quarter was struck on a solid silver or high content alloy planchet. This mistake should have never happened, but it did, and the result? A unique, ultra-rare coin that has no known equal. This quarter was submitted to a professional grading service and received a grade of MS-70, a perfect coin. No nicks. No scratches. No circulation wear. Perfect strike. Perfect luster. Everything about it was flawless. Once authenticated, the coin quietly entered a private collection. A few years later, it was sold in a confidential deal to a billionaire collector of American coinage for a reported $28 million. Segment 3. The Anatomy of the Error. What exactly happened to create such a rare coin? Let's break it down. The United States Mint processes hundreds of millions of coins every year. Occasionally, leftover blanks from previous years or experimental runs end up mixed into standard production lines. These are called transitional planchets. In this case, the 1983 quarter was mistakenly struck on a planchet not intended for circulation, possibly silver or an experimental metal intended for testing only. Next, there's the strike itself. The design elements on this rare quarter show what numismatists call full strike detail. Every feather on the eagle, every strand of Washington's hair, every serif on the letters is razor sharp. That level of detail indicates it may have been struck on specially prepared dies, possibly intended for proof coins or internal testing. Yet it entered the world by accident. Combine that with the perfect state of preservation, and you have a numismatic miracle. Segment 4. How it was found. The story of this coin's discovery is something out of a movie. It was found by a janitor in Pennsylvania cleaning out old coin rolls from a bank's vault storage. A customer had exchanged some old coins, and the bank teller gave the janitor a few rolls as thanks for his work. At home, he casually opened the rolls, flipping through coins. When he picked up the 1983 quarter, he noticed something strange. The coin felt heavier. It looked shinier. It didn't have the copper-colored edge that most clad quarters have. Something told him this coin was different. He took it to a local dealer, who immediately recognized it might be special. From there, it was sent to a national grading service. Once certified, the buzz began. The mystery. The offers. The million-dollar calls. Eventually, an anonymous buyer from the Middle East, a high-net-worth investor known for acquiring rare American artifacts, made the historic $28 million purchase. Segment 5. What makes a coin worth millions? Let's talk about why coins like this are so valuable. First, scarcity. Rarity is the foundation of any collectible market. The rarer the item, the higher its potential value. Second, condition. This quarter was in MS-70 condition, a perfect score on the Sheldon grading scale. Most coins, even uncirculated ones, don't come close. Third, opposition is extremely rare. Combine that with flawless condition and historical timing, and you have a recipe for a record breaker. Fourth, demand. Ultra-wealthy collectors around the world are constantly looking for one-of-a-kind treasures. And when only one of something exists, the sky's the limit. Segment 6. How to identify a rare 1983 quarter. Now comes the big question. Could you have one of these rare 1983 quarters? Here's what to look for. Date. It must be 1983. Weight. Standard 1983 quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. A silver planchet weighs 6.25 grams. Use a digital scale for accuracy. Edge. Most clad coins have a copper-colored stripe on the edge. A silver or high-alloy coin will have a pure metal edge with no color variation. Sound. Silver coins make a distinctive ringing sound when tapped gently on a hard surface. Appearance. Look for unusually sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and a brighter finish than normal. Doubling. Some error quarters may feature doubled letters or numbers, a sign of a doubled die error. Professional grading. If you think you have something unusual, send it to PCGS or NGC. Never try to clean it or modify it, this can ruin the value. Segment 7. Separating myths from reality. There are a lot of myths about valuable coins online. Not every 1983 quarter is valuable. In fact, most are worth exactly 25 cents. Be cautious of scams. Don't fall for social media posts offering $10,000 for common coins. Always do your research. Value comes from rarity, condition, and authenticity. Only a handful of 1983 quarters are known to be worth thousands. And only one is worth $28 million. But that's all it takes. One. The 1983 Liberty Quarter is a reminder that even the smallest, most ordinary object can hold unimaginable value. This is not just a coin. It's a piece of American history. A miracle of mistake. A legend born in a moment of randomness, and now sealed in the annals of numismatic greatness. And the best part, there could be another one out there. It might be hiding in a drawer, sitting in a jar, waiting in a parking meter, lying at the bottom of an old purse. All it takes is one person with a curious eye to change their life forever. So check your change. Weigh your coins. Look closely, because the next time you pick up a 1983 quarter, it might not be worth 25 cents. It might be worth $28 million. Thank you for joining us. What if I told you that one of the most valuable coins in the world isn't made of gold, it's not ancient, and it's not locked away in a museum vault? What if I told you that a simple quarter, a coin worth just 25 cents minted in 1996 at the Denver Mint, could now be worth a jaw-dropping $24 million? It sounds unbelievable. It sounds impossible. And yet, it's true. In this video, we're diving deep into the mystery, the mechanics, and the million-dollar intrigue behind the 1996 Liberty Quarter Dollar. We'll explore its origins, uncover what makes it so rare, walk through the stunning story of its discovery, and reveal how a small coin changed one collector's life forever. Stay tuned, because this isn't just a coin story. It's a modern-day treasure hunt. And you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Segment 1. America in 1996. Let's set the stage. The year is 1996. Bill Clinton is in the White House. The internet is exploding across the globe. eBay has just launched. The world is changing fast. And in Denver, Colorado, the United States Mint is busy striking coins, millions of them, to keep the economy flowing. Among them, the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter had been in circulation for decades. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it had become one of the most familiar coins in American pockets. By 1996, the design was still the same. Washington's profile on the front. The mighty bald eagle on the reverse. Nothing unusual. Nothing fancy. Just an ordinary quarter, right? Wrong. Because deep within the coin presses of the Denver Mint that year, something extraordinary happened. A mistake. A 1 in a billion error. A twist of fate that would lead to the creation of the rarest 1990-60 quarter known to exist. Segment 2. The birth of a numismatic legend. To the naked eye, the 1990-60 Liberty quarter doesn't look particularly special. It's small. It's silver-colored. It fits in the palm of your hand. But this particular coin, the one that would eventually be valued at $24 million, is anything but ordinary. During minting, something went wrong. A blank intended for a commemorative silver dollar somehow ended up in the quarter press. That blank, known in the industry as a planchet, was never meant for quarters. But the machine didn't care. The dies struck the design of the 1996 Washington quarter onto the wrong metal planchet, a rare silver alloy with a high luster finish, typically reserved for high-end collector coins. Not only that, but this era coin had a second rare trait. It was double-struck, meaning the coin had been struck twice, resulting in noticeable doubling of the date, lettering, and parts of the image. It was as if lightning had struck the coin twice. An incredibly rare blank. A mechanical misstep. And a second strike, sealing its fate as one of the most valuable minting errors ever recorded. Segment 3. Discovery of the $24 million quarter. The story of the coin's discovery is as captivating as the coin itself. In 2001, a retired Army veteran named Thomas Greer was cleaning out his old tackle box. It had been years since he'd gone fishing, and inside, among rusty lures and old bait wrappers, was a roll of coins he had set aside years before payment from a roadside snack stand he helped run during the mid-90s. He cracked open the roll, absent-mindedly sorting through the quarters. That's when he saw it. One coin stood out. It had a shinier, brighter surface than the rest. It looked off. The edge didn't show the usual copper stripe. It felt heavier. The date read 1996, and just beneath it a small D indicated it had been struck in Denver. Curious, Greer held on to it. Years passed. He brought it to a local coin dealer in Wyoming. The dealer immediately recognized something unusual and sent the coin to be graded by a professional numismatic lab. Weeks later, the verdict came back. Authentic mint error. Double struck. Struck on a foreign or off-metal planchet. Uncirculated. MS-70 condition, perfect grade. One of a kind. Offers began rolling in. 1 million. 5 million. Then the call came from an international collector based in Singapore. Final sale price, $24 million. Segment 4. Anatomy of a $24 million coin. So what makes this 1990-60 quarter worth more than most homes, cars, or even private islands? Let's break it down. First, the mint error. Minting errors are a major factor in a coin's value. A standard quarter has almost no collector value. But a quarter struck on the wrong metal, especially one meant for silver dollars, that changes everything. Second, the double strike ***. This rare phenomenon occurs when a coin is struck twice by the die. The overlapping features create dramatic visuals and are incredibly rare, especially when the coin remains in uncirculated condition. Third, the grade. MS-70 is the highest grade a coin can receive. Perfect condition. No scratches. No bag marks. No circulation damage. For a coin from the 1990s to survive in such condition is almost unheard of. Fourth, the metal. Experts believe the coin was struck on a leftover planchet from a commemorative or foreign production run. Tests showed it contained a silver alloy not used in standard quarters, adding a mysterious and exotic layer to its identity. Fifth, the story. Coins are more than metal. They are stories frozen in time. And the story behind the discovery of this coin, its journey from a tackle box to a vault, adds to its allure. Segment 5. Could you own a rare 1990-60 quarter? Now let's answer the question everyone wants to know. Could there be more of these rare 1990-60 quarters out there? The answer. Maybe. The US Mint produces billions of coins each year. And though their quality control is rigorous, no system is perfect. Every now and then, an error coin slips through. Some are minor. Others, like this one, are once in a lifetime. If you're curious, here's what to look for. Check the edge. If it lacks the copper stripe and appears solid silver, that's your first clue. Weigh it. A standard quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your 1996 quarter weighs significantly more or less, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. Inspect it under magnification. Look for doubling on the date or lettering. If you see multiple impressions of the numbers or letters, it could be a double strike. Examine the luster. If the coin appears unusually shiny or mirror-like, it may have been struck on a planchet intended for proof or commemorative coins. If you think you've found something special, do not clean it. Do not try to modify it. Take it immediately to a professional grading service or reputable coin dealer for evaluation. Segment 6. The coin market today. The coin market has changed dramatically over the last 20 years. What was once considered just a hobby is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. Collectors from every corner of the globe are competing for rare coins. Some do it for history. Others do it for investment. But all are driven by one thing: the thrill of the hunt. Coins like the 1996 Liberty Quarter have become legends. They show us that rare finds can still happen. That even modern coins, ones we handle every day, can hold secrets worth millions. And as technology advances, more tools become available to help everyday people identify valuable coins in their change. The question is, are you looking? The 1996 quarter, valued at $24 million, is a symbol of everything fascinating about coin collecting. It's not just about metal. It's about mistakes. It's about chance. It's about the incredible possibility that the next great discovery might be in your very own pocket. A quarter is supposed to be worth 25 cents. But sometimes, when history, error, and rarity collide, that same coin becomes a masterpiece. A miracle. So keep checking your change. Dig through your drawers. Open those old rolls of coins. Because the next great find could be yours. And remember, numismatic treasure is not always buried underground. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket.